Good evening. I'm Jerry McIntosh, and this is Our Voices, the People's Meeting. Tonight, we're going to talk about, we're going to address Trump addressing those five individuals that was telling people that they didn't have to obey no illegal orders and according with the military guidance that they have. But Trump called them seditious traitors, and he wanted to lynch them. We're going to talk about that in other hot topics. First, we'll go to our host, Mr. Derek Scott, who is the chair of the Escambia County Democrat Party. We have Jill Lewis Daggs, who is with us this evening. She's been working with the Democrat Party over in Okaloosa County. We have Mr. Bill Snow, who is the author and an activist here of the great book From the Project to the Boardroom. And we have BJ Brunis. I hope I'm not butchering your name, who is with us also. And Mr. Vernon Watson, where you'll be watching this show on WBQP TV, Roku, Fire Stick, YouTube, and also on all of our Facebook pages. But Derek, I'll go to you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. I know we've had a long 2-week break, so to speak, and so this would be a good time for us to do our host roundtable as well as talk about what everybody has been up to these last couple of weeks. So I will start it with you, Mr. McIntosh.
Well, we had a nice fundraiser this past Sunday. It was very successful. We want to thank everybody that participated, and all of the people that came out to make sure that it was a success. The saxophonists and band and all, they were really get great. The food was great. We were looking forward to seeing you there, Derek, but I know you had other things come up. But it was really nice. Also, we are asking all of our members to recruit new members. This is our membership drive month. So we want people to become members. We did pick up some new members Sunday night, but we want to continue the momentum towards picking up other members for Moving for Change. We know that civil rights is needed more now than ever with all of the things that are taking place. As you know, one of the things I know we're going to talk about is nurses telling the Trump administration telling the education department to declassify nurses as a profession. So we're going to talk about that along with some other things. But I'm back to you, Derek.
Okay, I will go next to Mr. Bill Snow. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. What do you have to share with us today? Good. Thank you for that, Mr. Bill. I'm glad you are back with us. Mr. Vernon, do you have anything to share? Not, I will come back to you. Just come back. I'll skip over BJ.
Give me 1 minute, Derek. Go ahead. Make me the last one because I'm getting some double audio, and I'll be right back with you, okay?
Okay.
Make me the last one.
All right. EJ, what's going on? What you got?
Yeah, so the what I'd like to report is that we've collected food from donations across the state, and we've already given away 2 baskets. We'll be doing another 2 baskets to needy families in Santa Rosa County on tomorrow. So that's all I got basically from Santa Rosa County. We helping families and doing the thing and trying to fill in the gap in ways in which the community can lean in without relying on this regime to help out.
It's always good. Okaloosa County, Miss Jill Lewis Daggs, what do you have?
It's so exciting. I love the way you said that. Okaloosa County, let's go. So we have been busy. As BJ said, we all have food that we have been given through 2 Million Strong, is that what it is, I believe? And we are reaching out to people that are in need. And so at the Crestview Resource Center this last Thursday, we fed 58 families, gave them full meals to try to get them through several days. There was also an wonderful partnership with Ohana's AC and 48 other businesses and churches in Okaloosa County last Saturday. They came together, and if you were able to come, they had tables with clothes, with shoes, with groceries. They let the homeless come into the churches and take showers and gave them toiletries and food and playground for the kids. It was just an awesome opportunity of like-minded in the fact that we know our community is hurting. So this was an opportunity to really see Democrats, Republicans, MPAs, just everyday people saying, we know there is a need and we're going to gather together and have 48 different businesses give back. And people that knew about it were excited and appreciated it. It's unfortunate that more people in our communities were unaware of it. So I think that we need to work better on doing that, but it was an awesome opportunity. And we have several locations throughout last week and this week that are giving out turkeys or hams or food. And then I want to highlight a couple of things. Tuesday at the Crestview Resource Center, there's an organization that's coming in that's located at 798 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue in Crestview, Florida, from 1 to 5. And they are giving out free meals to anybody that comes through. There's nothing you have to do but bring your car, they'll put it in your car, and you keep moving. Just again, to reach out to the community. And then on a sadder note, I'm not sure what part of our viewing audience ever had the opportunity to meet the former DEC chair, vice chair, state committee man, Davy Jones. He unfortunately passed away on last Sunday, and it's just been really a shock to most people. He wasn't sick, but life happens, and when you're called, you're called. And they are having, his family is doing a private ceremony where they will spread his ashes once they get the body back from the coroner. And so Lisa Huntsman, who is very, very close to Davy, has decided that we're going to do a celebration of life at where they like, one of the places they like to go. Cheers would have been their ideal. They just can't fit enough people. And if you know Davy, that was his favorite spot. So they are going to do it at Suds and Cinema. And somebody asked, that is not a place where you wash your clothes. I believe Suds means they asked, so I'm just sharing. I believe Suds is because it has beer and sodas. So that's the Suds. The cinema is that you can watch movies there. They're going to have his life on screen. So anybody that does have pictures can share it. And Lisa will make sure that that gets incorporated. And then I'm not sure what else they're doing, but it's just going to be a time for people across the state, because there are some people coming from down south. They're going to come up that really had the opportunity to work with Davy. And he started way back in 2016, knocking doors. I've got some funny stories, and just was that person. He really did push through on many of the Democrats that had campaigns in Okaloosa County. That was his heart and soul. And so I would just ask everybody to take the time to be in prayer for his family, because he was the caretaker for them, both his dad and his brother. He does have a surviving wife. I believe it's an ex-wife. And then, of course, the Okaloosa County, DC, and surrounding state Democrats that he really did impact. And then all the folks at Cheers, because Davey loved to go to Cheers. And most of the people at Cheers are not Democrats, but they love Davey. And that was his, I'm going to break through. I'm going to find out what's going on. So, again, just praying for the family and thanking Davey for his service. Thank you.
Jill was trying to be nice. It was me who asked about whether or not if the place had to, if they operated laundry machines. Because it sounds like a laundromat. When I hear suds, I think of soap.
That means you're really young, Derek.
What?
That means you're just telling your age. You're really young.
That's
Vernon, Vernon, don't give him that. No, that is not an age thing. I can't. I have some words, but it's not have nothing to do with his age.
I don't think of suds being beer or alcohol. I think of soap. Soap suds. That's what they're called when you make the boat, soap suds. But maybe this is me. Thank you for that. Our hearts and prayers are out to all of the Democrats that were affected by Davey, and certainly by the loss of Davey and his family and friends as well. For Escambia County, we don't have a lot, but we have a couple of things. The first of which I will share is this Tuesday, Sunshine Rays of Hope, in conjunction with the Leah Gibson Foundation, in conjunction with Lemons to Lemonade, in conjunction with Engage All Pack, are putting together a Feed Pensacola event. It's a Thanksgiving event that's going to be held at the Fricker Center here in Pensacola, which is at 900 East Street. And it's free and open to the public. If you're interested in having a meal, I think the event starts at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. But more importantly, if you have some volunteer time, if you have a few hours, volunteers are needed, because they're expected to serve anywhere from 800 to 1,000 people on this day. And so certainly it's going to be an all hands on deck. So if you have a couple of hours, an hour, whatever you have that you can donate, I know I'll be there volunteering to feed Escambia Democrats. Provided quite a few turkeys for the event. And Gabe Elamont provided about 25 turkeys, things of that nature. If you have the opportunity to just come out and volunteer and be a blessing to someone else, please don't hesitate to do so. And that's this Tuesday. I'm going to backtrack with just a little bit, because on Saturday, the Escambia Democrats have the opportunity to partner with the F Christian Center and their Thanksgiving dinner giveaway. They were able to provide meals to hundreds of people. And our part in the Escambia Democrats is every year we provide a toiletry kit for the unhoused, and every year that kit grows. So this year we had toothpaste, toothbrush, socks, toilet paper, shampoo, deodorant, floss, chapstick, underwear, things that people that typically you find unhoused that don't have can need. We provide those. So we got together and assembled over 200 kits, and we gave those out to those people in need. So I want to say to everybody who donated to that cause, thank you. to everybody who came together to assemble those 200 kits this past Thursday. Thank you. Just thank you. It's how, what we like to live by. We want to be a blessing to the community. We want to be about community. We're not just here for your votes. We're here about community. And that's what we try to live and practice for. And like, as BJ and Jill mentioned, we too have a partner. I don't know what the 2 million strong is, but we provided a
That's her company. That's her
oh, is
organization.
that what it is? Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what that is, but you said so. That's Vanessa's. That's what you. Okay. So we partnered with 2 million strong, and we were able to get foods that were donated through Amazon wish list for folks in Escambia County who lost their SNAP benefits or had their paychecks withheld because of the furlough that occurred during the month of November. And we had donations that poured in from all across the state, the United States. So for those who donated, thank you. Because of that, when we're still getting stuff, because of that, we've been able to feed a family with 2 sets of twins and give them groceries for 3 weeks, and 2 other families with three people in them each for 3 weeks. So we've had enough to give and make them, to be a blessing to someone else in their time of need. And so thank you to those folks. We still have families to identify as well as provide for, so we'll be doing that as well. As we move forward, we want to say let me just pull it up, on Friday, which is December the 19th, the Escambia Democrats are having a 2025 holiday mixer. If you are interested in attending, it is going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Pensacola Improv Center, which is at 375 North Pace Boulevard. We're asking a $20 donation per person. There is a cash bar. We'll have DJ Hale, who will be a wonderful DJ. We'll have events, and just come together and just celebrate the holidays, whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, or practice the traditions of Kwanzaa. This is your opportunity to come and join us. So this is, again, a fun festive occasion. We'd love to have you, so join us for that. For the Democratic Black Caucuses for Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa County, they are in their membership drive period. And so if you're interested in being a member, please don't hesitate to contact either myself for Escambia County, Christina Forrest for Santa Rosa County, or Joe Lewis Daggs for Okaloosa County. The membership fees seniors are in Escambia County, seniors are $30 and everybody else is $50. And Santa Rosa, BJ, do you know how much your fees are?
I do not off the top of my head.
Okay. What about Okaloosa? Do you know yours?
Really? Yes, I know. As the former president,
I know.
Ours are the same. They're $30 for senior students, and seniors start at 65, and 64 and under are 50.
Yes. Thank you. So please make sure, if you're interested in knowing what's happening, you're going to be a part of this democratic process, please feel free to reach out for all of us who are available, and we'll be happy to direct you into the area that you need. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. So what Jill said, for Escambia County senior citizens is everybody 65 and above, 64 and below are $50. Students are $30 as well, with a valid student ID. And yeah, that's it. So be a great opportunity to join and do some, because everybody has some awesome stuff that they're doing to get prepared for 2026 election cycle. So this is the time to be a part. I want to take a step back and talk about, because Jill, at least I think she did, we had most of Mr. McIntosh and Jill and I had the wonderful opportunity to attend the Okaloosa NAACP event. where we were fortunate to hear Florida State Senator Rosalind Osgood, who was a keynote speaker. I want to give a shout out to Oculus and NAACP for picking a better speaker than they had the year before, because the last 2024 was like watching paint dry. So 2025. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh wait, I forgot what I was. My bad. My bad. I just realized. Sorry. 2024 was a great speaker too. Yay. 2025 was a dynamic speaker. It had a great venue, great festivities, and I think it was even better because I got the winning 50-50 raffle ticket and came back home with $580.
Yeah.
Well, not really, but close. It was split with my good buddy over there on the screen there. So we split our winnings. So it was a great night. I would say that was the best NAACP banquet that I have ever attended in my life. So it was a great time. And I hate that I missed the event last week, Mr. McIntosh. I had every intention of going, but then my mother wasn't feeling the best. So I just wanted to make sure she was okay instead. But I was there with you guys in spirit, and certainly I have my donation ready for you. I just got to stop by the office and get it.
All right.
And so I think that is it for me. Mr. Vernon, what do you have?
Okay, now as everybody knows, Robert Hill sold the station and he retired. And so the station is not going to be a Mr. Hill station as you know it. Okay. A lot of changes is coming by and changes. I'm afraid, and I hate to say this, but I think our community station probably is gone for community stuff like that. Okay. So, Jared can't come on anymore, and Omar can't come on anymore. And guess who else can't come on anymore? The Blues Hound. The Blues Hound got kicked to the curb.
Put you up.
So a lot of information that been passed through the Hill Station, a lot of gratis, that stuff. I don't think we're going to see that anymore. So what I did was I'm doing what I can with which I can. In thinking and giving it that, I have created a internet radio station, okay, and hopefully that will help, and that anybody can get if they got a cell phone or anything like that. So what I'm planning to do is pick up the Robert Hill format. Hill had a great format the last 30 years, the talk shows, the Hill in the mornings. And I'm going to tell you now, I want to start back the Hill in the Morning show on my TV station and on my internet radio station starting the 1st of December. And anybody got information like you would feed the Hill, just text it to me at 850-293-5007. And we can still get the information out. Some of the gospel has been cut back. You got hip hop on Saturday mornings instead of blues and Southern soul. So, I do respect it's their station. They can do what they want to do with it. But I think they're missing a real opportunity to do away with something that's been here for the last 35 years and what people expect. I know people get up in the morning expecting to listen to Robert Hill, and that's where a lot of people get the information from WRNE and for the information that they passed out. So it's not going to be the information station anymore as I know it. And so I'm going to do what I can on my end with WBQP TV and the new WBQP radio, internet radio station. So let folks know. And a lot of it, just tell folks, because we're going to be broadcasting that. It's on Facebook as well, like I do that. It's going to be on Facebook. A lot of folks don't listen to the phone, but they do have Facebook. It's going to be hopefully going to be on Facebook as well. And But the very easiest thing for people to do, as far as I'm concerned, is just download the WBQP TV app. You can get the radio on the app, and you can get the TV on the app, and right there in the palm of your hand. You can see it anytime you want to, listen to it anytime you want to, and if you're at home, only thing you do is display it on your big TV. You don't want to have that little phone in your hand looking at the TV or looking and listening at the radio. Just display it on your big TV set. It doesn't matter. So that's where we are uh, right now. So I don't think we're going to be able to depend on the new owners to spread the information like we're spreading. When I spoke to him, I got really kind of a little bit discouraged, but I hate to bring politics into anything, but when he told me that he cut his teeth on Rush Limbaugh, my heart sunk. So
Yeah, I'm telling you.
yeah, but anyway, that we're here to try to do what we can to salvage our community station, okay?
Yeah, well,
just help
Bert,
us spread the word. That's what I said, Jerry.
I was gonna say, we put out a lot of history on that station as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to be gone because we would talk on Hill in the morning every Tuesday and Thursday. We talked about a lot of history,
Yeah.
what it means, but also the politics and what was going on and taking place throughout the country and around the world. So it was, we talked about climate and the changes that were taking place. I mean, just a whole host of things that we address that probably will go unaddressed on that station. But as you say, Vern,
we got to pick it up.
Yeah, we can pick it up.
Pick it up again. Yeah. So I'm depending on you to do that. The same format that Hill ran Monday, the Hill in the Morning show. I'm going to run it. I thought about renaming it, but I'm going to call it Hill in the Morning Show with Vernon. That's what I'm going to eventually call it. Everybody knows the Hill in the Morning Show, and I'm going to continue that format as close as I can to what he had, and just ask people to spread the word, and folks that get it on Facebook, just make sure they share it with their friends on Facebook so we can get a wide distribution. Okay.
I think they're going to end up having to revisit their format. Well, number one, it's unfortunate. I think they're going to lose a lot of advertisements and
right.
folks who advertise their business there on the station. But number two, I don't know what's happening for somebody who has experience in radio. The station sounds forward.
Yeah.
It's like, what is wrong? Why does it sound like that on the radio? What is wrong with your microphones? Did Mr. Hill not leave your microphones? Why does it sound like that?
Okay, don't put that on Mr. Hill now. We are not going to put that on Mr. Hill.
I'm not putting it on Mr. Hill. I'm saying what is wrong? I know Mr. Hill left the microphone.
They moved the station from 9 Mile Road to their new location. And quite frankly, I don't think they know what they're doing. And quite frankly, they're not seeking help. The folks with the corporate knowledge of that station is me and Robert Hill. They haven't sought our help on that. They're running by the seat of their pants. Okay. And it really, since he moved it over, it's really been horrible. It's been really horrible. And I sent him an email telling him I'm here available, and anywhere I can help him, anywhere I can. But if I didn't even get a response from it, so what can you do? And
I thought they grew up in radio, at bare minimum. I would think you know how to operate your microphone.
I don't think they got a lot. I don't think they got a lot of experience in radio. The only other radio station I know they had is down in South Dakota or something like that. The only other one they had with 27,000 listeners over in South Dakota. I think this is the second one they have, and they should be open for suggestions. But
I've never heard anything sound like that. I think.
But he's using some inexperienced people trying to do. But anyway, it's that thing. I'm going with the Isley brothers now. Okay. One thing I learned from Barack Obama. Barack Obama said, you can only befriend somebody. You can only extend your hand to somebody to be their friend if they only would unclench their fists. So
And unclench that mind too, because there's that mindset that black people don't want nothing but hip hop, and all of that has that show you how negative people think of us, or how small, how little they think of us. That we don't want to have talk radio and teach the history to our people through radio and through the significance of it.
But
It's crazy.
isn't one of the owners black?
One of them. Well, kind of. I think he's a little bit Jamaican, either. Hey, I don't know. It's not. You know what I mean. It's a zebra couple.
Okay, can I talk about Okaloosa County? I forgot something. One of our viewers sent me something, and this is important. This is the 30th annual Thanksgiving Day feast benefiting Destin Harvest and Okaloosa Habitat. And they're asking you to be their guest from 11 to 5 on Thanksgiving Day. Enjoy a delicious traditional turkey dinner with all the fixings while supporting 2 wonderful charities. Everyone is welcome, and there's absolutely no charge. You can visit them on their website. I'm assuming this is this year, but I know last year the numbers were about this. They have 6,583 turkeys. They do 4.5 tons of dressing. This is huge. It has always been this way. There's many volunteers that come in and prep, and then many volunteers that come in and serve. And then, of course, they're fed as well. So we just want to put out there that Harbor Docks is available if you have no plans for Thanksgiving or you'd like to bring the family down. Please come and join. Thank you so much.
Jill, send me that information. Text me that information so we can spread the word on this end, okay? The text is to 850. Anybody that get information, we can spread out. 850-293-5007. Okay?
You gotta slow that down, Murr.
850-293-5007. And on the 5th 007. You didn't get that, did you, Derek? Went over your head, didn't it?
Yeah. What'd you say? I'm sorry. Was it?
Okay. I said my last 4 was 5007. And I said on the 5th 007. And I said that went over your head, didn't it?
Oh.
5007. 50. Okay. All right. Move on.
But you act like Derek is 21 years old.
Yeah. He probably young and went on this panel, right?
No, I think BJ's the youngest.
BJ younger than really?
BJ's younger than I am.
Yeah, BJ's. Yeah, you are than all of us. Yeah,
you're younger than all of us.
All of us, even Christina.
I didn't realize BJ was the Pookie butt. Young, okay.
I'm glad I don't know what that means.
Be the youngest one. Green behind the ears. You ever heard that expression? Being green behind the ears?
I heard that expression. I didn't hear the other one, but based on the
heard
facial
that.
expression,
I didn't want to ask because it's burning.
You never heard of being a Pookie butt?
I never heard no Pookie
Jerry, we got some. We telling our age, Jerry. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you telling our age.
Okay.
No, both of y'all have y'all come up with some expression. You got Pookie butt today. What was it, Mr. McIntosh? What did you say the other day?
Jack Booty Thug.
Jack Booty Thug.
Oh, I can't believe you never heard of Jack Booty Thug. Come on now.
No,
it was speaking of that. Well, we was in a conversation with Robin that we went down to the Pensacola Network the other night, and they was talking stuff like that. And somebody never heard of and maybe you haven't heard it either, there because you're a little young and BJ, but we're talking about traditions, right? It says on New Year's Day, have you heard the tradition that a man has to walk into your house for the
my
on New
God.
Year's?
Oh, Jesus. So
The superstitious.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know I'm waiting on. I'm glad that we're on a delay, because if we weren't, I would have already gotten a text from Linda Scott to say, "Don't you say a doggone thing." But yes, I am more than familiar with it. I have never understood it. It didn't make any sense. But the first person that walks in your house has to be a man.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
I have not heard it, and I thought they were making it up. So I'm just saying.
Now
Heard it.
yeah,
I
it's
had
been
to go
out there.
back way back to find someone who was like, "Oh yeah," I'm like, "You never shared that with anybody." So we like 3 generations back, nobody knows. But okay, I still believe it's something y'all do just here. But okay, we don't do that up north. I've never heard anybody up north talk about that. So maybe it's just south.
Universal.
I have done that most all of my life, except for the time period that I was not a resident of Pensacola, Florida. But every year I have to enter the house. So yes, I don't understand it. Just like I don't understand putting money in food, like quarters and peas or whatever it is, a dime and
A dime or a penny or something in peas. And you got to eat peas.
But all right, whatever works.
I hear you.
So good. Well, thank you for everybody sharing. I'm going to turn it back over to
Did BJ say?
He went.
Oh, okay. All right.
He went. So we'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Nagash.
Okay, we don't address Trump talking about the people that were speaking, telling the veterans, the military people, enlisted people rather, that they don't have to obey any illegal orders. And Trump and them tried to twist it. He did twist it, say, that they had committed, they were traitors and treasons and seditionists, and that they need to be jailed and get the death penalty.
Well, Jared, let me tell you about that. Okay, that goes to show you why I feel, in my opinion, that anybody to run this country as president should have done some time in the military. You're going to be commander in chief. You should have been in the military. So Private Bone Spurs there had he served time in the military, he would have known that. That's when they teach you in the military. You don't have to obey an illegal order. So that is taught universal in the military. So had he served, he probably would have known that.
Yeah, but on top of that, he calling for Congress people to be lynched. He said George Washington would have hung them. So he's calling for the death. And then those individuals said death threats and threats against them has risen 100% since he made those statements or served his edict for on everybody that we're gonna kill people now. But some say he tried to walk it back, but the damage is already done once you put something out there like that, and people's lives are at stake. And there are those who those zealots that and cult leaders that he has among him, or cult followers rather, that he have following him, would do anything, and this and he will pardon them if it's a federal offense. So he's for him to say that he wanted to kill people, to lynch people that's his opponent. He labeled them enemies rather than opponents, and also when people are telling people don't commit these crimes against your own people in this country, he wants to lynch them. But the thing about it, people see what ICE is doing every day on the streets here in this country. Bill, was you?
Vietnam, they did lower that IQ thing, but to call those congressmen and women seditionists for their freedom of speech, and truly it's against the law what they were saying to obey an illegal order. I mean, for him to take offense to that means that he knows that he is issuing a whole bunch of illegal orders. So uh, I don't think the guy is that sharp up top, to be honest with you. And for him to be, our politics didn't have all of this violence in it until he came down that escalator. Uh, and it is out of hand. He cost Charlie Kirk his life. He caused it, and all of the vitriol that he has spun since he came down that elevator. We are in a place in this country where it dates back to uh, post pre-civil rights, the violence. We had a little calm there, but man, he has introduced it, and I mean, it is on steroids.
BJ.
I just think it's important, number one, to put this in the context of history so that we understand where we're going with this. And the whole idea of not following illegal orders, particularly when they're given to you by a superior in the military, how that came about was during the Nuremberg trials. A lot of the German soldiers, when they were asked why did they do these things to the Jewish population that lived there, many of the Nazis, a lot of them said, well, we were just following orders. We had no choice. And so it was determined during that time, almost 100 years ago now, about 90 years removed from the 30s, it was determined at that time that under no circumstance are you to follow illegal and unlawful orders, because you can face the consequences. That is a violation of international law. That is a violation of the rules of engagement. And that's how that all came about. Now, fast forward to, this wasn't 5 random politicians. These were actual 5 senators who have served in the military.
Right.
So these are not people who don't know what they're talking about. There's being specific that not only do you not have to, you should not, and it is against the law to follow unlawful and illegal orders, even if they come from a superior in the military. And we have proof of this. Can we go back to Abu Ghraib under George W. Bush? A lot of those 25, 26, and 27-year-olds, where all those pictures came out where they were torturing those people, a lot of them people got dishonorably discharged, served jail time, and what happened? A lot of their superiors, their commanders, their generals got promoted. Meanwhile, the petty officer wound up serving jail time. So they need to be listening to these people, because Trump will not be around forever. There will be a new game in town, and you never know what can happen and what the consequences can be of your actions because you just following orders. So I think it was a warning call. I think it was like, y'all need to watch out, because he's not going to be here for long. And we going to mean business. If we ever get power, we going to mean business, and this is not going to fly. So I saw it as a recommendation, like, we just letting y'all know, tread carefully.
Right.
And his only response always is injecting violence.
And that's exactly what he did. He doubled down on his trash talking.
The general over at the Pentagon had the wherewithal to resign from that shooting those boats over there.
Right.
He had the wherewithal, and that was a smart man, but there will be consequences and repercussions to all of this illegal foolishness that this administration is perpetrating. There will be repercussions soon.
And they, when you say that, they building up. I mean, they got a big build up of ships and planes and all of that over there off the coast of Venezuela in the Caribbean over there. And and like you say, many of those boats was fishing boats. And on top of that, how do you know these boats are not just decoys? Because sometimes when you look at them, you don't even see people on there on those boats. So we don't know if they decoys or just no false flag
False
operation.
flags, yeah.
Yeah. So
I like to play angel's advocate on this one, brother Jerry. Those I would propose are drug runners, because once he shot the first 1, 2, and 3, I wouldn't be out there fishing or doing anything else. So for them to still be out there running and getting blown up, some 10, 11 boats in, it is something illegal going on with it. But he doesn't have the right to be judge, jury, and executioner, though.
right, because they get the Coast Guard usually do the interdiction of people that they see on the high seas. They have the wherewithal to capture people in international waters as well. So, but I don't, but I'm saying, people are smart. They're just not the Venezuelan people. And even if they were drug runners, they'd be smart enough not to go out there. But they would send, you can put a boat out there with by remote control and put some look like people on it and send it on out there. And they were just bombing the hell out of it, and they don't even know what they bombed.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fair system to say that there's something legal because they keep going on. You got to remember too, in that area, you've got, of course, you're looking at it from Venezuelan standpoint, but just in half an hour off the coast of Venezuela is Trinidad. Just an hour from Trinidad is Barbados. You have those boats primarily are fishing vessels, not necessarily people running drugs, and they have charters. You can catch a charter for 22 T's. You can go from Trinidad to Venezuela. That's just be like a ferry boat ride from Pensacola to Mobile. It's the same distance, right? So we have those things that are happening quite often, not for the use of transporting illegal drugs, but for the mere fact of tourism. People who travel to Trinidad don't realize until they're right there. I'm like, oh wait, I can also go to South America while I'm here. I can extend my trip 1 or 2 days and go to South America. I'm going over to Venezuela. Like it's not an absurd thing to do or think. And you're putting not only Trinidadians in jeopardy or Patagonians in jeopardy, Venezuelans in jeopardy. You're also putting Americans who use that as a pass-through going from place to place just for the sake of tourism. It's not an appropriate thing to do. They have, specifically in that water, they have like a lot of kingfish, which is very good fish, and flying fish, things of that nature. So you have to go in that pass in order to get to those areas. So for me, and to get that seafood. So it's hard to imagine that you just see a boat and you're like, blow it up, because it's a boat in an area that you perhaps may not go to, or you may perhaps deem it to be undesirable, or whatever the case may be. It's unfortunate, it's unsafe, and I feel like at some point in time, something's going to come to a head, and somebody's going to retaliate. Certainly.
Yeah.
Trinidad can't retaliate. Barbados can't retaliate. Those places can't retaliate, but I feel like somebody's going to do something on behalf of, for them, and it's unfortunate. They're both independent countries, but they still have close ties to England. And I feel like at some point in time, somebody's going to step in and say, like, hold up, do it one more time. I'm going to show you something. And that's where we are.
And Venezuela is rich in oil and resources over there that that we want, and this is being done for these big oil barons who want that oil out of that country. And I think it was Maduro, and
Maduro?
yeah, the one that died some years back. They nationalizing that oil for the people of Venezuela, and we went over there and destabilized them by and that's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to put this woman in power, trying to through regime change, who is a right winger and a friend of Trump. So we're trying to put her in place so that we can get those oil resources that they have over there as well. Jill, what's your thought?
So I remember being at a Veterans Day program in Crestview several years ago when my dad was still alive. And they had a colonel that was speaking. And it was right before Trump took office the first time. And he said exactly that. You don't have to worry. Those were his words. Because we know what laws we have to follow, and we know who is in charge, and we don't have to follow what they say if they're telling us to do something we're not supposed to do. That's against the Constitution. And he made it very clear. And I can remember we were in a church setting. I was like, I just need clarity, because in my mind, I was like, I just need to make sure. Plus, I had a son that was going into the military, one that was in the military. It was just a scary time. It was very, very scary. So part of it is, I think, his ignorance, but I also think it's just him. His response to everything is go kill him. You either do it my way or I'm going to get rid of you. Whether I'm getting rid of you because I'm going to take away your SNAP benefits and your health care, or I'm getting rid of you because you're not going to get vaccines, or I'm going to get rid of you just because you speak truth. That's just his response. So I'm not, nothing he does, and I'm never shocked what he does. I'm never shocked. I'm just never shocked anymore. It's just something else. I do remember that colonel saying, but we would never be, like, he was sure we'll never be where we are today. Like back then, they were sure we would never be here. There isn't a president that's going to tell you to do something that you just really shouldn't do. And he went into detail. And I almost wish that we could have that conversation. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not, but because I remember having it with my dad. Jill, we know, and he was in the Marines, and he was also in the Army, and our family's, deep in the military. But for me, I always question, like, are you sure? Are they going to do the right thing? But then I also I saw a Facebook post, thanks to Grace, that she put up today. And there was a cook. They beat him, ICE did, to take him into custody. Like, there is no justification for what they're doing, and there's no way to stop them because everything's out of control, and he really has way too much power. And I feel like part of it we gave because we were thinking, oh, he'll never do this. Not we, us, but we, the people, gave it to him because they never believed, whether it was Project 2025 or exactly what came out of his mouth. Because the second round, he said exactly what he was going to do. He didn't have to have Project 2025. That was just a nice outline for us to read and get smart and vote right. But if you didn't read it, get smart and vote right, all you had to do is listen to what he was saying and extrapolate the truth from the lie and do the right thing. But here we sit, and I talked to some my nieces this weekend. They're all at my brother's house celebrating Thanksgiving early. And even them, they are 24 to 35-ish. And even they were they're not as political, but they were like, you know what? They're getting what they asked for. They voted for them, and they just were in deep. Like, this is what they wanted. So this is what they got. So they need to stop. And then we went through the fact that they wrote a song and, just all this stuff. People were in, they really believed I don't even know what they really believed because I can't see it, but I didn't see it. But they really believed that this was going to be the better way for some of them. And then that rest of them, many of them, just could not check that box because it was a Black woman. That's all it was. It was a woman and Black, because they didn't do Hillary either. So it's absolutely that she was a woman, but it was more so that she was Black.
You mentioned Project 2025. There's the country that is mentioned the most, particularly in the Western Hemisphere in Project 2025, is Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
That's the country that's mentioned the most in Project 2025. And it's mentioned mostly in the context of a goal of securing energy dependence for the United States within the Western Hemisphere so that they don't rely on the Middle East as much. So how do you, when you got to go where the source is, which is Venezuela. So the easiest way for the United States to get access to those resources is to destabilize the country through the ways in which we're seeing that happen. It's all written in Project 2025. I mean, this is basically being carried out the way it was designed. The other thing that, if I don't know if y'all heard, that the British intelligence agencies, which is basically the second compared to United States, the British are the ones who have the most powerful intelligence agencies. They have been limiting the amount of intelligence that they're sharing because they're like, what you're not going to do is get our country involved in your international crimes. That's what you're not going to do. And so, I mean, I can understand from their perspective why they're like, we don't want to be a part of this. But at the same time, that creates a national security risk for our country. And that puts us at risk for foreign threats. And that puts it at risk for even domestic threats if we don't have our most reliable team player in this field saying, well, we don't trust y'all and we pulling out. And they can't trust that the intelligence that they share won't be shared by our FBI, by Kash Patel won't go tell Putin.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I know since you brought up Putin, did y'all see today it was saying that the 22-point plan that Rubio presented to Trump and to the world for to be agreed upon with not Venezuela, Ukraine. It was written by Putin and given to Rubio them to present. So they don't even know whether Trump knew whether if he did, it's even worse. But if they didn't show him, that's worse. That's even worse than that. If he didn't know that these 22-point plan came from Russia. So that means that they are intelligent. The people that's dealing with this, they don't have any intelligence. If Rubio don't have any intelligence, that means he should. If he presented this to the Congress and to Trump, then he should resign immediately. Because he's saying to us that he don't even know anything about foreign policy and how to run foreign policy. And Derek, did you have any suggestion on what was happening in the Caribbean out there?
Wait, say that again. I thought you were about to ask me about
Venezuela. Well, the blowing up of boats and stuff like that in Venezuela, off the coast. I know you were saying. Oh, you were saying they were right there together though. A lot of these countries.
Yeah, Trinidad is like. I'm not saying you could swim to Venezuela, but you essentially could swim. It's such a short distance, right? From between the borders of the country, from that standpoint. And two, you have a lot of people from Venezuela who are fishermen who make their money on the seafood industry. Same with Trinidad. I mean, Trinidad is an island. Ain't so much you could do, right? You're not having a lot of your opportunities of employment are somewhat limited because we're in such a confined space due to you're being isolated, totally surrounded by water, right? So a good amount of people make their money on the water. To think that every boat that you see is transporting drugs is absolutely and it doesn't even make any sense. It's ludicrous at this point to think that, oh, there's a boat, it's coming from Trinidad, it has drugs. Nope, there's a boat coming from Venezuela. Oh, it has drugs. You never would think, like, my first thought, if I saw a boat on either one of those, in that water, my first thought would always was that it would be a fishing boat. That would just be my go-to. Like, and what I'm not suggesting is there's no drug trade or drug running between the two, because Trinidad is a notoriously dangerous place. They have a lot of violence and a lot of murders, but that has nothing to do with the people that are on the water, right? And right now, what you're doing is you're harming innocent people. There are reports of Trinidadians. I have friends, I have family who have talked about people who are missing right now that they know, who are fishermen that they can't find. They've been missing for months. They happen to coincide, their last known visit or last known trip going out as fishermen happened to coincide with the day that the United States bombed a boat, right? They're now reported MIA. There are accounts of this. Now, those folks aren't trading in illegal drugs. They're not trafficking cocaine or fentanyl or heroin or whatever you get from Venezuela. That's not happening. These are people who are going out to make an honest day's living. And the fact that you can determine without any intelligence whatsoever, that you can determine that I see a boat, ergo, it is carrying illegal drugs. It's asinine. It's to me, that's seditious. That's a war crime. Like they have like what, the Hague Convention, where people are tried for war crimes. This should fall within that category. And the fact that they're doing it so cavalierly is crazy to me. It's insane to me. And you can't live. I mean, these people you have to think about it. They have families to feed. They can't not take their boats out on the water for fear of being bombed by the United States.
Oh, yes, they can. Yes, they can. Knowing a madman is bombing boats, brother. Oh, yes, you can.
What you gonna do? You just gonna starve to death? You're not gonna feed your family?
You're gonna live. You're gonna choose to live. They ain't doing nobody any good getting blowed up, brother. They can't take care of no family that way.
Well, I mean, yeah, true, but if you want to make a living, you're gonna have to make a living. Like,
but look, man, you got to do something different. Knowing a madman is out there on the loose bombing boats, man.
So yeah, but what you're in Trinidad. What else you gonna do? So unless you work in tourism or you fish,
man, look, man. There's got to be another way, man.
It's not like you're not Uber eating. You can't run DoorDash. You can't Uber Eats. So
man, I don't have the answer, but I know what the answer is not. It's not going out in that water where a madman is bombing boats.
The United States knows that there aren't drug cartels coming out of Venezuela, because they know that the number one fentanyl trafficker is China. It's not Venezuela. Yeah. Venezuela is an extremely poor country. It's destabilized. And so you actually have to have a little bit of technology in order to formulate these things. And so that's why you see it in Mexico, you see it in China, because you actually do require a little bit of technology and scientists in order to create this stuff. And then you got to package it in a way that it can be shipped, or what do they call them? Mules or whatever. So what they're doing is they're priming the public. They're getting us used to being okay with bombing people without consequence.
Right.
And without cause. So they're getting us used to it, and I agree with you. They're going to stop fishing, which is going to result into the country destabilizing more, because obviously we know that when people get hungry, when they get desperate, it is a cause for anarchy and destabilization, which is going to set it up for us to go in there, and everybody's going to be okay with it because we've seen them bomb them 10 times already, and we didn't say nothing about it. So now it's going to be just another day in paradise while we go and take their oil.
Right. It's about the Earl, just like Derek says, about the Earl.
About that Earl.
The Earl.
Maybe it's just me, but I didn't know that the Coast Guard operated that far south. Like that is that is a long way away. You're not close to the United States if you're in waters where you're in Trinidad or in Venezuela. That's not close. That's a long way. You're passing everything. Like you got, like, you know,
plus,
think of South America goes down and then it goes out.
it's
You're
out,
way down here
plus it's out in
that juts
international
out.
waters.
Yeah, it's international waters.
Coast Guard operates that far south, so Coast Guard
No,
can
I'm not
operate.
saying that.
No.
I'm saying that we ain't got no business bombing over there in international waters.
International waters.
Right. That's not the point.
If
So,
they bring it within the jurisdiction of the United States, where the Coast Guard, I can see that. But they're not.
That's a long journey. You're not even close. Like, you pass it. Like, think about it. Like, so the Coast Guard doesn't even operate by Jamaica. You way down.
Well,
like,
I think the Coast Guard may have a jurisdiction, Derek, because the Coast Guard was in Vietnam, so they might have a jurisdiction.
They can go anywhere.
Yeah.
The Mediterranean, the Persian Gulf, the South China, Arctic, Antarctica, Pacific Islands, off West Indies. They can go anywhere they want to go.
Wow.
Because who's gonna check them?
Yeah.
Right. And that's the
But they're
thing.
talking about, I think we need a regime change. If anybody in this world needs a regime change, we need one.
Yeah, we definitely need a regime change. Badly. The whole caboodle of the Trump and his people need to go.
Yeah.
That's including J.D. Vance and the rest of them.
Yeah, him and his maid men.
Yeah.
They're maids.
Have y'all, just, I'm always on the lighter side, but have y'all been checking out South Park lately?
South Park has some good stuff going on.
Yeah, you need to check out South Park. They are, I don't see how, but anyway, they hard on them.
Yeah, they hard on Trump.
I just wanted to briefly put this up for people who aren't familiar. They're like, I don't, geographically or conceptually, I can't get where we are, where everything is. So I can't show you everything, but you see right here, this is Miami, and all these are like the Florida Keys, right? There's Nassau, the Bahamas, and all that other stuff. The Bahamas and all that other stuff right here. You got Jamaica, there's Turks and Caicos. You got Cuba, you got Haiti, San Juan, Puerto Rico, which is way down here. You come all the way down here, past Montserrat, past Guadeloupe, past Martinique, St. Lucia. Here's Barbados. Then there's Trinidad. There's Port of Spain, which is the capital of Trinidad. And right here is Venezuela. Like, you see, you can tell that. And right there. So you came from all the way down here to patrol way down here. That's a long way. That's all I'm saying. That's a long.
I think you're definitely right, especially showing that, but it says they can go anywhere on the planet if the mission is called. They can go anywhere. That's what the United States Coast Guard is. That's their mission. They go anywhere.
It's not just America's coast.
Yeah. They go anywhere. They go where they're called. They go where the mission is.
Why are they called the water guard?
But unfortunately, though, this is not the Coast Guard.
But also, so the Army goes anywhere, the Navy goes anywhere. They just are part of the thing. That's what happens. They go anywhere.
Yeah, but like
them F-35 bombers that's doing that. It's not the Coast Guard.
Yeah,
these are either coming out of this Air Force inventory.
Yeah, but Jerry was basically saying the Coast Guard should be able to confiscate whatever is going on, as opposed to Donald Trump playing judge, jury, and executioner.
I agree.
Yeah, because they've been doing interdiction for years without, and I know there might be some incidents where they had to stop boats and something like that. But most of the time they did the interdiction, took the drugs and arrested the people. But to go way down there and, in Venezuela to murder people, because that's what you're doing. You're murdering people for no reason.
Right.
Only to destabilize that country so you can get their resources.
Right.
There are going to be consequences for this.
It should be.
It's going to come back to haunt this administration. I promise you.
I
mean, they violated every law under the sun without
something. And it says, just so I'm clear, it says something, for me, it says something different. It says all navigable, for U.S. waters, navigable inland waters, river lakes, territorial seas up to 12 nautical miles from shore, and exclusive economic zones, 200 nautical miles offshore. They can operate when enforcing U.S. laws, but it's to patrol shipping lanes and conduct search and rescue. I don't see where they say they can go.
I didn't chat GPT it. I talked to somebody that's in the U.S. Coast Guard. That's what they said.
Well, I would have to go with Jill for the simple fact that just like they can dispatch the Navy anywhere in the world, you know, the Coast Guard is a part of the military. They can
go
dispatch the Army to anywhere in the world, the Marines. So why would the Coast Guard be any different? I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, they can go that they legally can do it.
I mean, it's nothing. You know, if there's a drug running, it's, you know, as they say, you know, quote, then the Coast Guard can do interdiction and get those drugs. They can be stopped. You know, we got speedboats that we can, you know, that jump, you know, that we carry on Coast Guard ships and all of that can catch any boat anywhere. So it is not like we don't have the wherewithal to interdict drug people that run drugs, and we want to. You know?
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, I think we're gonna be the dead horse, but we know what the real reason is, and you brought it up yourself. Yeah. The real reason is to destabilize that country for regime change, for the reasons of trying to take their resources, such as that oil. That's the real reason. So they trying to snow the American people. Something about drugs, like I said, false flag stuff about drugs. It's not about that at all. It's about what you said earlier, and hope folks can understand that.
Because it was really about drugs. They be down there in Mexico, man.
Yeah.
And two things that was one that happened under the destabilizing came about under the Obama administration during Venezuela when they had the former president, the other president before him. And then, you know, the what happened with Muammar Gaddafi, that happened under President Obama and President Obama administration. I thought that was two of the most shameful things that happened in his administration. And I know people, you know, his President Obama they must know something. Yeah, that people going to destabilize these countries for resources. For these big oil conglomerates to take the resources, just like now. And we're gonna hit on this too. Yeah. Trump talking about going in Nigeria to protect Black Christians. Yeah. He won't protect Black Christians here. Yeah, he won't protect Black Christians here. When he see people being brutally beaten, you know, by law enforcement, he ain't doing nothing to protect Black Christians here. When he can see people go in churches and shooting up and never open his mouth against any of these things, he's not there. We know because one of the biggest deposits of oil is right there in Nigeria, along with other resources that they have.
Minerals,
yeah. So everybody know if he go in there, and it's a hunter's nest, you know, that you are going into. You're not going to help stabilize the country because Boko Haram don't care who they kill. They kill Muslims and Christians. You know, they're a terrorist organization supplied by outside forces to keep the country from coming together. You know, their arms and all of that they get from places like, you know, gun runners from France and Great Britain and other places around that area. So we all know what that's about. And then, you know, if they get into Nigeria, which is in the western part of the country, they're going down in Burkina Faso and try to overthrow Captain Ibrahim Torres. So we know what this is all about. You know, the resources, cobalt, you know, diamond, gold, oil, you know, all of this, that's what it's about. It's like, you know, they want to recolonize Africa. And the one guy said, I mean, he absolutely said that we should recolonize Africa because they're not doing anything anyway. I'm like, these people are stupid. You got the youngest generation of people on the planet right there in Africa who don't mind fighting you, who are not afraid of you. So, but this is the kind of mentality that's being spreaded for them to say that we're gonna go over there and recolonize Africa. It's absolutely crazy.
And then
And
to
then,
add,
go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to change it for just for a second here. What do y'all think about this Margaret Taylor, whatever her name is, Green?
oh, wait, hold on. Before you change the subject, I was going to say, I think to add to your point, what hurts my heart, Mr. McIntosh, you talk about it, and it's such ludicrous, but to see people who have a platform in the United States co-sign the foolishness, like, yes, thank you, Donald Trump, for going in and taking care of Black Christians in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Nicki Minaj,
Yeah.
the lady who got up and did the speech at the United Nations about this stuff. So I'm going to say something. I think it was Megyn Kelly who said it. And I hate to quote her, but at times sometimes we're offended, but sometimes something need to be said. And your Paul Megyn Kelly told Shaquille O'Neal to shut up and dribble, like nobody cares what you think.
No, that was LeBron.
I meant LeBron. Sorry, I didn't mean to say
Shaquille.
Yeah. LeBron. At this point in time, I want to tell Nicki Minaj to just shut up and rap, because nobody cares what you think. Why are you talking about the issue? It's. I think one of the things I hate is when people go up and talk about stuff uninformed, right? Because then you say stuff and you make yourself look like a complete asshole. And here you got on this big platform in the United Nations and start talking about something that you have absolutely no earthly idea of what you're talking about. If I was her, I would have shut up, because you didn't know you're a citizen. So at what point in time, somebody gonna get mad at you and call ICE on you to come get you up out and send you right on back down to Trinidad, because you are not from here, ma'am. I don't know what you're saying or what you're doing. It's just people with platforms have to take. I feel like when you have a platform, you should take a social responsibility place, right?
Yeah,
so that you know what you're saying or what you're doing, or when you don't, shut up.
Yeah, she don't have no foreign policy, right, of history of foreign policy. But but you know why she's doing this, right? Her brother got 25 years in prison, right? And her husband has been
convicted of child rape, right?
So she's trying to get all this expunged, removed, and get pardon for her brother and all of that. So that's why she's out front with Trump. We all know what it's about. But the thing about it, for her to use her status and platform to go out and talk about invading Nigeria, and we supposed to listen to her, who have not one, let me put it ironically speaking, not NAM foreign policy skill.
Not nary one, Jerry.
But she's been MAGA, because you remember when she was on Twitter talking about how don't get the vaccine because it'll shrink the male genitals.
Yeah.
So she was been MAGA before even this happened. She got red pilled a while ago. So this is on brand for her. But I agree. Now she has a little bit more motivation because she has some familial carceral issues that she wants handled, and so she's doing what she needs to do to make that happen.
I just thought that she was starting to spiral, because she's been on a downward spiral for the past couple of months. Ever since what's the name, Getting All the Shine, and they're talking about her album, she's just been all over the place ranting. And I just assumed this was one of her rants. I didn't realize there was history on this. Either way, again, shut up. Like, I just want you to shut up. You know, that would be the thing to do.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
That would be the
she's
best thing
losing
to do.
support, she's losing followers, but you know, people who are less informed than she is, will take that and be like, "Yep, they need to go and do something." You know, that's how ignorance perpetuates. Like, and it's just at what point in time do you silence the people? Like, I wish we had a way to silence folks. Like, oh no, I'm taking away your platform.
But you know,
But isn't it?
sometimes you have to use common sense. Now, when is it that Trump ever want to do anything for black folks?
Well, but that's the point, Vern. That's where her being misinformed comes in at, because it's the
Right.
white Christians that he supposedly that the Nigerians are supposedly killing. So she's just misinformed completely to say
Exactly.
that going in and they're helping them. It's the white ones. The president, their prime minister, was just at a White House 2 months ago and made it clear that they were not killing white Christians.
Yeah.
So she's pulling. I didn't realize she's pulling. If she has all those, I know her husband was a child rapist, but I didn't know her brother had been sentenced. So she's pulling a Savannah Christie. I know.
Yeah, yes. Her brother got 25 years for what he did. So,
Mm.
which, it's just a whole host of things that she's trying to get them exonerated. I mean, pardoned rather, because they can't get exonerated, but they can get pardoned. And that's what she's trying to do. I don't know if Trump has the authority, because it depends on whether they were charged under federal or state.
Big law. Yeah.
Yeah, so if they were charged under state, it's not going to do her any good anyway. She just went there and made a complete rear end out of herself.
Well,
Point intended.
I can tell you this: she thinks she gonna do what Kim Kardashian did. She
Right.
may slowly mistaken, because one thing obvious: Kim Kardashian is a white woman.
Right.
Well, not even she's trying to do like that girl Savannah Christie. Yeah, I remember her dad and mama got sentenced to prison. You remember the dad was up here at Softly Field,
Right.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the daughter went on TV and started doing all that MAGA, 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 and doing all that speaking. And then they released the mom, and he pardoned the mom and the dad. But again, you black, you're not white, so you can't do what she did.
Exactly.
Now
Exactly.
he'll pardon some black criminals now. He'll do that. A few,
Not that one.
not that many, but a few, because that justify all the other criminals that he have pardoned. The 1,500 or so people who really committed sedition and treason and tried to overthrow this government. So he pardoned all of them, plus all these other people that have worked with him over the years. He done pardoned all of them. It's just a whole host of people that he had pardoned that known criminal, just like.
I want to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I do
But
want
you want to talk
Marjorie
about bad built butch body.
Yeah.
Bleach blonde. They call it B6, as they call it. B6.
The big six.
B6.
What are y'all? And one thing you're talking about, chicken come on the roof, but one thing common about Trump, and he's done it so many times, but people still can't see it. Everything that Trump touched turned to shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything, and every live he have taught. I mean, he have come across. He have run Elon Musk and her. Everybody. Think about everybody in his orbit. Nobody got away. They left him worse than they came with him. Okay. They did.
Owen, Giuliani,
Yeah,
Pitt, all of them.
all of them.
Yeah.
But why can't they see that? I don't understand that.
Wait, time out. Are you suggesting that Marjorie Taylor Greene is leaving worse than what she came?
No. What I'm saying is worse with Trump.
Her reputation, I think he's speaking of.
Yeah.
You don't care. That lady came into Congress, and now throughout her duration of being in Congress, she is leaving with $25 million.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
So,
he's
No, I'm
speaking
not saying that.
reputation
I'm
wise.
saying this loyalty thing.
Right.
Trump will turn on you. He'll stick. Okay, he'll turn on you. I don't care how fierce and how loyal you are to you. When you leave him, you're going to be tarnished. She might leave with $25 million. I agree with that. But she left tarnished with him. Okay, but I just
But
the thing
that's
that
$25 million. Like, I'm sure she's gonna be fine. Like, she'll get some furniture polish and tarnish it, thumb it all off. Like, like,
yeah. Well, what
so,
she want to run for Senate now, Vern. She
yeah.
trying to rebrand herself.
yeah.
You know, as somebody who cares something about the poor people.
Yeah.
You
She's
know,
running. Yeah,
when
she's
she
running
came
to
to
take John
power,
Ossoff's seat.
yeah, she came to power, ignored, and everything she did was against those same people. Now she claimed that she's for. She was leading the pack to get rid of health care. She was leading the pack to destroy education in this country. She led on a lot of the stuff that the Consumer Protection Agency. She was with them. She voted 100% with Trump on everything and even now we see how she voted on it. She voted for this big ugly bill that Trump called a big beautiful bill, but this big ugly bill, all of these things she voted with him on. The Child Care Act. What was it called when during the COVID when they was giving a child tax credit?
Income tax credit.
Yeah. See, all of these things she have voted against, but now all of a sudden she want to run for Senate. Oh, but the handwriting is on the wall because all Trump them to turn against her as a congressperson because her people, she figured out, oh, all this stuff I voted for is against the same constituency that supported me, who some of the poorest people in the country.
Right.
And so now she's trying to rebrand herself. But I hope nobody get fooled by her because that's what they do. They could come back act as if they are, all for the people, but they are not. They are not the people at all. And she definitely not for the people. So she want to bamboozle people, like they say, hoodwink everybody. But I don't think it's going to happen. I hope it don't happen anyway.
Yeah.
So,
well, she also is she's just so happens to be resigning the day after she is vested and qualifies for her pension. So
Right.
she's doing that the literal day after, which we can have a whole conversation about how is it that Congress people suddenly qualify for full retirement pension benefits after just 5 years, whereas other government employees got to put in 30 years. But that could be a whole nother discussion.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I don't think she wants to run for Senate. I think she wants to run for president. I think she's going for the king's spot. I don't think she knows she can't win against Ossoff. Ossoff is the beloved, white, what do you call him? Savior of Georgia. I don't think she would be able to win against Ossoff. I think she's going to probably start a podcast. She's going to get very popular in right-wing MAGA world, more popular than she is now. She's going to do a rebranding, and I think she's going to run for president.
She'll get that some of the constituency from Georgia to vote for. That's in her district. That's probably all she'll get. Hopefully, anyway, because she said the other day she still believed that Trump policies was good policy.
That's because of what I go with Bruner's here. That she's trying to make sure that she doesn't alienate that MAGAverse. I can see where this may very well be going. I can very well see it.
One thing that they're good at, I'm gonna be honest with you. One thing they're good at is they are good at looking at what they want the world to look like a generation from now, what they want the world to look like a decade from now, what they want the world to look like 50 years from now. We steadily wondering, ooh, can we just win the midterms? They like, we could win the midterms, we could not win the midterms. We got Project 2025. When we win, we're gonna implement it. It's gonna happen. So, but we worried about elections, and they worried about what they want the world to look like a generation from now. So I think that's what she got her eyes on 2028 and 2030.
Yeah, well, she said it herself that she didn't think she could win, with Trump going against her in these midterms. You're right. You're on to something there.
Yeah, but see all those, she came out all tough and everything. But soon as she started getting them threats to her life, which she, tried to do to Jasmine Crockett and others while they was in Congress, and Presley and what was the young boy name from I think he's gonna run for office. He was with the Democrat Party. Was David Hogg, when she was chasing him up there on the Capitol, calling him all kinds of names and stuff. He was still in high school at that time.
Yeah.
So let's go to show you.
Congresswoman Crockett was on CNN this morning talking about it.
Yeah.
Talking about how she couldn't handle the heat for a week.
After a week.
She said she couldn't do it for a week.
Right.
When he could get hot, get out of the kitchen. Now she fled that kitchen.
Yes.
And Jasmine was right. She couldn't even stand the heat for a week. And we've been standing it all our lives. And she can't stand it for a week. Yeah.
But she's also leaving a millionaire 25 times over. And this is just a woman who owned a gym. She owned a gym in rural Georgia, so not even Atlanta or Buckhead. So she wasn't making she wasn't balling.
Right.
I mean, she had a small business, I'm sure, but she wasn't balling like she is now that she did all of that insider trading and stock trading while she was in office. So plus, she got all that PPP money during COVID for her small business.
Right.
So if I leave Congress with $25 million,
that's my point.
I ain't got to do nothing either. I could start a podcast right now for less.
Right.
That's my point.
With a full pension.
That's exactly my point. Yep.
Yeah. Now, BJ, I got to ask you this. The Department of Education is talking about declassifying nursing as a professional. What is your thoughts? I mean, as a doctor.
What did Whoopi Goldberg say in Ghost? Molly, we in danger, girl. We in trouble. I mean, if it could get any worse, it can. And guess what, Jill? It's in Project 2025. This exact thing is in Project 2025. So what is it going to do? I mean, it's basically going to limit what nursing students can borrow, which means that nursing students are less likely to go to school. And it's more than just nursing. It's a lot of professions that are women-centered, Black women-centered, like social workers and all those other professional degrees that really get women into the middle class. And we know at this point, you have to have two incomes in order, for households just to make ends meet. So I know from 2025 that they want to push women out of the workforce. So these are just the little ways that they can do it. They're going to go after female-dominated professions. They're going to go after the ways in which women are able to borrow in order to go to school. I mean, they are eliminating the, what is it called? The income-driven repayment structure.
Right.
They get rid of that, which basically says that you can, the student loan corporations can only charge you a certain amount based on your income. They eliminating that. So now, if they say your payment is $600 a month, but you only bring it home $1,000 a month, oh well, sucks to be you. So what is that going to do? That's going to make people less likely to borrow. Well, they won't even be able to borrow because we all know how much college tuition is nowadays. So now they won't even be able to borrow that much money. So, and in the to make it worse, now that you're no longer classifying these positions as professional degrees, that could basically mean that a hospital don't have to pay a nurse no more than a housekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to pay a nurse no more than a cafeteria worker because it's no longer a profession considered a professional degree.
Right, and the thing about it, how you gonna declassify if someone got a degree, a master's degree, and all of that in nursing? How you gonna say that they are not professional?
Just make sure. Can I just interject, because you to BJ's point, there are nurses, but it's a total of 26 degrees that they're doing, and nursing is just one of them. We're talking about the master's degrees when it comes to education, the teachers, so like the MED, the MAT, first, of course, the nursing ones like the MSN, Master of Science Nursing, and the doctoral nurse practitioners. You're talking about your physician assistants, people who are have degrees in occupational therapy and physical therapy, audiology, speech and language pathology, public health, like the Masters of Public Health or the doctoral programs in public health. You got your social worker degrees, your MSW and your DSWs, all of your counseling and therapy degrees. And interestingly enough, which I thought was odd, was in this slide, because I was like, how does this fall into it? You're talking about, which affects my field of study, MBA in the master's degrees in economics, all of those programs, and your engineering degrees. So a master's degree in engineering and your MSEs, those are also going to be reclassified as non-professional. And to BJ's point, it lowers the amount that you can borrow for student loans. For graduate programs, you can borrow no more than $20,500 per year, not to exceed $100,000 in aggregate. For professional programs, it's $50,000 a year, not to exceed $200,000 in aggregate. So it's going across the variety, broad spectrum, and to your point, it's affecting women-dominated fields as well as Black women-dominated fields. That's where you're going to see. So you're not only seeing a shortage of women that are going to be affected, but also particularly Black women in that.
Right, and they've already where Black women are at, already purging. They done purged close to 500,000 of them already, and we was oversaturated in the federal government and state government and city government and all of that, especially Black women. But now they're, through racism, which they use DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, because most of them don't even know what DEI means. So, but they're using that to, just get rid of, especially Black women and Black men as well. We just hadn't focused on that as much. But Black women has been, they just poured them out as if they were, nothing. And all of these people is highly degreed, highly educated with all these skills. But it still, to me, it leads us back to, with all them skills that they have, now we need to try to bring that skill together and start building something, creating something for ourselves. Because the knowledge is there, the wherewithal is there. It's just a matter of getting people together, see if they can smash together to make sure that we can build something other than what we have. We don't need to go back to where we were, where we are, at the mercy of somebody else, as much as and less as possible to do that.
Dr. BJ, will those professions still require degrees? I mean, how does that work?
To be honest with you, I can't tell you where we're gonna go from here.
Yeah, if they declassify them, I just get you a little training in or on the job training, I would imagine. I mean,
I could see that.
yeah, goodness gracious.
Or I
So
could say that we don't even need it.
right, but nursing. How important as a doctor? How important is nursing to you?
Oh my Lord, extremely important. We can't even do our jobs without it.
Will that
Impossible.
relegate you to doing nurses' work?
Well, I do that anyway. Because
Yeah,
I don't think I'm above a nurse. I see myself as a teammate. We just have different functions in the overall goal. But I never saw myself as above a nursing duty. I have changed people's Pampers if they needed them so that they're not sitting in their urine. So I'll do that. But you're right. They will basically shift the responsibility. They're either shift the responsibility or just say the nursing care isn't needed anymore.
Oh my.
So what would they do in and if nursing care is not needed anymore? What would they do? I mean, because a lot of these nurses assist the doctors in ways that a lot of times that doctors don't have time to do.
Right, and those practitioners for sure. Doctor, you don't even see them half the time.
Right.
Jill?
So, first of all, flashback to all my time in the hospital, and I'm thinking, what would I do if I only had that doctor? Not that I don't love the doctors. I love y'all doctors, but you have so many patients, they got to go. So they kind of leave their little script, and the nurses are supposed to fulfill whatever they have told them to do. So that's one side of it. But also, if they're not getting rid of nurses, they're just getting rid of the certified nurses. So you'll have an everyday person that's going to come in and say, today I'm going to be a nurse. What you want me to do, Dr. BJ? You want me to what? Let's hope I can get that. Well, you want me to take some blood? Come on, Derek. I'm going to take your blood. Hopefully. I don't hit artery. You know what I mean? So I think that his bigger picture, and then I have a question, but his bigger picture was always to eliminate. That's always been his goal, is to eliminate. You eliminate strategically, one by one. Take away all that Derek just said, I don't know, would you say to over 20 different categories? Take all that away, make sure it impacts women, because remember, he does not like women. He absolutely does not like people that are of color. So he just wipes it away. He takes away the insurance so that, you know what, you're going to get sick. You're not going to have to worry about going to a nurse anyway, because you don't have any insurance anyway. He's just taking all away. Takes your food stamps away. You can't eat. You know what I mean? He's doing that. That is his strategic plan. But here's my question. And I think BJ made me think of it. I should have wrote it down. But if we knew so after the fall, which happened November 4th, after the fall of the states of America, we went from the United States to the states of America, why didn't we start, we being the people who had some sense, the people who didn't vote for him, or at least those that had a vision and understood that Project 2025 was out there? Why didn't we start doing, maybe it was you, Jerry, or Bill, that said, we are now going to have to take those people and build our own, that structure that, hey, these are where the food pantries are going to be. This is where the clothing pantries are going to be. This is where your doctor's going to be. This is where the nurse is going to be. This is our hotel. You're going to have a place to live. Why didn't we do all that? Why are we reacting like now, oh no, he's going to take it? Well, he said everything in 2025 is going to happen. Because the one thing about that person in the White House is he said it, he promised it, and that is his mission. And he's not scared because there's no ramification for him. He can do whatever he wants to do right now. And so he's going to do everything in there. When do we start? I don't know where we would start, but when do we start? And pick a page and say, how do we prepare for this? Or split into categories of whatever you like, since we can't all get along. and figure it out. Take your slice of the pie. You take your slice of the pie and figure out what we can do. Because I keep saying I'm not shocked, but I also don't see where we go from here, because every day it's something else, and it's all in the book. It's all in the book.
These are my thoughts on where we go from here. I have no interest in picking up the pieces of the wrecking ball. I don't have interest in doing that. I'm interested in building something new. Because when we really think about it, the systems that he are destroying, were they really serving us in the ways in which they should have been doing anyway? Not fully. Maybe in some aspects, but not really. So I don't have the desire to pick up his rubble and try and recreate and patch something with some scotch tape. I'm like, okay, Hakeem Jeffries, you've seen what he's done now. You need to put a bill on the floor that says all those 26 or 25 or 26 places, now we're going to put a bill that if you want to do that, the United States is going to pay for it. You can get it for free. We know the bill ain't going to go nowhere, but just to generate some enthusiasm, get people hopeful about something. Yeah,
Right.
he took a wrecking ball to the profession of nursing and speech pathology and what's the other ones you said? Social work. But you know what we're gonna do? When put us back in power, if you want to do that, we'll do it. You'll do it for free. And and if you go and move to a rural area, we'll give you a $50,000 relocation bonus to go do it in a place that's underserved. Hell, we know they can do it with ICE. They're giving $50,000 sign-on bonuses for ICE, so why can't we do it for social workers? So it's like, my thing is that I'm not interested in rebuilding from his rubble. I'm interested in moving forward and building something new that truly serves people. And so that would be my suggestion. But I ain't in office. So
the thing, again, when we look at it, I guess to me, at what point this to me seems like you cut off your nose to spite your face yet again. Because you are talking about, you're trying to do something which I guess your intent is to inflict harm upon communities of color by, stifling our opportunities for advancement, right? But when I look at it, again, some of the stuff doesn't make sense. And I created a chart, because one of them was the programs that I thought were, I guess, interesting or didn't make any sense are the MBA programs and the engineering programs. So I don't typically see those as fields that are dominated by people of color, right, or women. And when you look at it, even looking at the difference, seeing it, you see for the blue MBA, people who have MBAs, and the green are master level engineering programs. You see that overwhelmingly in both instances, the majority of them are male dominated fields. And certainly you see of those, you have 55% being white and 61% being in engineering. Again, and then you see all these other spreads as they move forward in terms of breakdown. And they're all relatively younger dominated fields at this point in time. But why? You're hurting the very base of the people that you serve. In this, when you're cutting this, you're white men. You're all pro white men, but you're cutting off their opportunities for advancement. Doesn't make sense, but again, I look at it as you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. You want to do so much harm to communities of color. You don't think of the blowback that is doing to your own folks.
But he doesn't. So I think you're trying to understand somebody who doesn't make any sense. That's the first thing. The second thing is he doesn't like his own people. Who's his people? He don't like white people. They just think he likes white people. He don't like white men. They just think he likes white men.
Yeah.
So he's not cutting his nose off to spite his face. He is streamlining anybody who would know more than him, because some of those are levels where you would know more and be able to come in and say, no, when you do that, the whole water system's going to fail. He's going to get rid of all those people, all them engineers. Anybody that's going to tell him, that climate change is real, all of that, he's going to get rid of them. That's all he's doing. He's eliminating, but we know, but in what you said, because I know but in what you said, that man does not care. He doesn't
Only
care
about
if
that
he's the
top
only
20%.
one left, as long as he's king him. He doesn't care if he gets rid of everybody else, including his own children. His own. That is a probably what everybody needs to understand, more so than anything else, more so than Project 2025, is that you have a leader that would take out his own and has taken out his own. So everything he's, go ahead.
I also wouldn't sleep on the fact that he also don't sleep on the fact that America will always have a plan for what to do for white people. And usually we are not on the positive end of that. And
Right.
so those white people who may lose their abilities to take care of their families because of these policies, there will be a role for them. And usually authoritarians find that role for them to subjugate the people that they plan to subjugate. So I think those white men will have a role.
Well, Trump making sure of that because he's putting people who are less than mediocre in power, who are hiring less than mediocre other white men, through their white privilege and purging or eliminating jobs where there's black leadership. And it go in all the way to the military. I mean, they're doing it in the military. They're getting rid of the black leaders in the military, and also women who are in the military. And a headset, Mr. Stupid himself, running around talking about women should have limited roles in the military. In other words, the only thing they should be doing is having babies and taking care of the men in the military. So, I mean, these, people are just absolutely crazy as all get out. I mean, go ahead.
Mediocrity is a compliment to these guys. They are not qualified, just plumb not qualified. RFK, they just Hegseth and them, they're just not qualified. So to say mediocre is a compliment to those. They aren't even mediocre, man. They are not qualified. Donald Trump isn't qualified, and every time he tweets or open his mouth or speak, the guy just babbles is what it is. He can't stay focused on what he's trying to communicate. Mediocrity is a compliment to those guys. They're so non-qualified.
And one of the things is very important to make sure of is that whenever countries go through things like we going through, it's always a third of the country that's trying to subjugate another third while the last third watches it all go down.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way these things happen. So the third that is under the subjugation, and I think we all know who that third is, we're gonna have to rise up. That's what Hamilton says. We're gonna have to rise up. I don't know when that's gonna happen, because it's kind of like our lives really haven't changed. We still going to work. We still paying our bills. Our lights still on. A lot of stuff is happening, but the day-to-day things have not really changed yet.
Well, I think it has for the ones that voted wrong. I think it has. I think they're feeling the pinch, and man, that's why we had this blue wave here last month. But we're used to the struggle. This is what we do. But I think the man, with the economy, Trump starting wars to stay in power, campaigning for Bibi over here in the Middle East to not be criminally charged, because Bibi has extended that war for the sake of knowing that he was up on criminal charges over there. Him campaigning for this guy not to be found guilty, and the other dictator that was found guilty and sent to prison, he's campaigning for him. This man, I tell you, they're feeling the pinch, man. I promise you, the ones that voted wrong, they're feeling the pinch. These folk with ICE and all of them getting up, they're feeling the pinch. We aren't, not yet, and we may just get through this thing. But those ones that voted wrong, I promise you, man, all 7 million people on National King's Day, and their relatives overseas coming out. They're feeling the pinch. I promise you. Working free, being asked to work free. Those that were not furloughed or terminated, oh, they're feeling the pinch. National parks, all of the cutbacks and layoffs that has happened since this man is he and Elon went on this tear. They're feeling it. And I know you say that they will subjugate something for them, but man, this fella told them folk that voted wrong are the ones that the majority of them that this man said, let them starve. We're going to keep this government shut down. I might give them half of what they were getting. They're feeling the pinch, man. These food banks and people in line and people are starving and hungry. They're feeling the pinch. Oh yeah, they're feeling it, but they voted wrong.
Yeah, and he had the mitigating gall to go to the Supreme Court to stop people from eating.
Yes, and they upheld him. And they upheld him.
People from eating. It's crazy. You know, it's just a whole host of things that he's doing that has this really destroying the fabric and the soul of America. America didn't have too much soul left, anyway, from all the racist killing and murderers and, putting people in prison for no reason whatsoever, taking away people's livelihood. So the soul of America has been on a downhill swing ever since the civil rights movement, because that's what they was against so much. Go ahead.
Okay, so before we go, is everybody prepared and ready for November 25th? November 25th through December 2nd, where you are not going to go do nothing. Zero.
No shopping.
No shopping, no Publix, no Walmart, no nothing. You can go to farmer's market. I don't know if he's going to play this, so I'm going to be quiet.
Definitely.
Okay.
Shut it.
There it is.
Yeah. Hey, Derek, she has so much commentary.
She does.
I would like to see her every week. on as one of her commentaries on every week. Or a couple of them if possible, maybe at the top and at the end and bottom of the show.
Yeah, she does have some good stuff.
You have some really, really good commentary that she do. And our time is about up. It's 9:00. This has been Our Voices, Derek.
Okay, well, certainly we thank you for picking back up with us after our 2 week hiatus. And thank you for joining us tonight. We hope that it was worth your time and you got something out of it. Please make sure that you don't join us next week. I'm not sure what say.
Next week?
Yeah, because it's Thanksgiving.
That's next week is Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.
We should be on this.
So we will be on? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because Thanksgiving is that Thursday, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know if people were going to be traveling or whatnot. Is everybody going to be around?
Oh, okay.
If not, we'll make sure we send an announcement.
Yeah. We're
we'll do that.
gonna poll everybody and see who else.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. Have a good night. See you soon.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.